Hi, I'm Dusk. Today we're going to be doing a tutorial on how to make Neos and Godot talk to each other. The reason you'd want to do this, well, you can offload a lot of processing because Logix is really bad at doing that. This only works with Godot 3.2 to 3.5. That's because any later version they removed the Websocket server that it contains, so I don't know why they did, but they did. We're going to start by making a new project. We can name it literally anything. And then we're going to throw that into here. And it doesn't really matter what we put it under because it's mostly not going to be visual to begin with. So now that we have that, we're going to make a 2D scene. This is literally arbitrary. It can be any node you want. We're going to want to attach a script. We'll call this Websocket. And then we'll create that. And then I personally prefer to remove all the comments because they're annoying. From here, we're going to want to establish some variables. These variables are going to be things that we commonly are going to call. So we're going to start with a constant, and that's going to be the port. I'm following this from the Godot tutorials from their wiki, so it's pretty straightforward. We're going to have a variable underscore server, and we're going to call this WebSocket server, since we're going to be using this as a server host. We're going to add new, which allows us to instance a new node of sorts, pretty much. After that, in our ready, we're going to add the connection events. So we're going to have connect, disconnect, close request, and received. These are pretty much what they say in order. We're going to have server.connect, and then we're going to do connected. We're going to refer to the node itself. And then we're going to attach this to connected. Then we're going to have server.connect. We're going to want disconnected. And then we're going to put that one under disconnected. And then we're going to have connect client close request self, and then close request. And then the last one is going to be data received, which is where we're going to be getting all the data from Neo sent to us. And this is going to be data received. It's going to be self. It's going to be on data. So after that, we're going to set it up so that we're going to check if the server is actually listening so that we can receive the data. And if it can't receive anything and not start the server, it prevents the code from running entirely so that it doesn't crash the engine. We're going to do that. Do error equals server.listen, and we're going to put in port since that's our port. And if error not equals okay, then we'll print unable to start the server, and then set process And that just disables the process itself, since we're going to be running a command on it every time to check every frame if there's new data. So we're going to start with connected, just to make sure that we know that someone has connected and it'll output it. So we'll do func and then connected and then ID protocol, and then we will print ID comma connected. So this will just tell us when somebody connects. And then we're going to do disconnect. And ID. And then was clean. And was clean is just checking that it was a straightforward disconnect instead of forced termination of it. We're just going to check when that happens. Disconnected. Func. Close. Request. And this is essentially it asking if the client wants to disconnect through us rather than some other means. Print ID comma close the connection, and then we're going to go to on data, which is when we're going to actually start interacting with the data that is sent to us from Neos. So on data that ID, and then we're going to then grab the packet. So do var packet equals underscore server dot get peer, and we're going to put ID in there because that's what it's searching for, who's it coming from, and then we're going to do get packet. So this is asking for the packet itself. We're going to print the packet dot get string from UTF-8 because it's going to be sent to us in UTF-8 format, which means it won't come in as just plain text because WebSockets are not able to do that currently. So after this, we're going to want to create a new function, and we're going to call this send back. We're going to do ID and just call it the sending back text. And on this one, we're going to do server and then dot get peer. We're going to do the ID again, and then we're going to set write mode. So we're going to set the write mode to text because as it stands, Neos is not capable of handling binary, so we have to send everything back to it through text. So we're going to send them back and we're going to get here again, ID dot put packet, and then this we can just do a string call. The reason I do a string call here is because it just makes it easier in the event the thing you send through isn't actually text yet. And we're going to do to UTF-8 because Neos requires a text type instead of binary. And then after this, we're just going to do function. We're going to do process. We're going to do delta because this is a standard function. and we're going to do server.pull, and now every single frame that it updates, it's going to be checking if the server is actually being interacted with. So we are going to then go back up to our onData. We're going to use the send back command so that when we get sent something, we'll send it back to them and they'll be able to read it. So we'll do send back, and then we'll just do ID because we're just sending it back to the person who sent it to us. And then we're just going to do, I don't know, this is a response from the server. Alrighty, now that we have this, this is a fully functioning server that can just send data back and forth. We will receive data here, which will be put in the output menu, and then we will send them back this so that they actually get a response that we send something. So for the time being, we have to save. Forgot to do that. So we'll just save it to the root. We'll press play. We'll select the current one. So now we have nothing running here, and we're going to hold that off on the side. We're going to go back to Neos. I'm in desktop mode, obviously. So that being said, we're going to want to open our node browser, and we're going to want to create a new box to put this on for the time being. So we're going to open this up. We're going to make this bigger. We want to attach a component to this box. We'll go to Network, Websocket Client, and this will ask us where we want to actually send this WebSocket request to. So how WebSockets work is they have their own custom starting, which is WS, and then we do what you'd see on HTTP, and then we'll do localhost, and then we'll do colon, and then we'll do 9080. I believe that's what it was. Let's look. Yep, 9080. And then from here, we'll go to the logic step again. We'll grab this. We'll drag it out. And then from here, we'll do most of our work through here. So if we go to Network, we go to WebSocket. So we'll start by making it so that we can connect to the WebSocket itself. So this normally, if you're going to be hosting the WebSocket yourself, you want the user to just be you, or else it's going to fire for everybody in the server, and that's just kind of weird and a waste of resources. So now that we have that, we're going to add the receiver. So that's going to essentially give us our text when we're sent back text. So we're going to want to add a write to that because it is a single frame sent data, which means we cannot read it just using an output node. So we're going to write this to a variable, we're going to write it to a string, and we will observe what the string has written to it. Write that to you. So now that'll write to the string, and then we're going to then do networking again. Where is it? Network, WebSocket, and then we're going to do text message sender. And this is the node that we're going to use to send data to the server instead of receive it. So whatever we put in here will be sent to the server, and then when the server responds, it'll be sent back through this. So we're just going to send hi server. This is a test. And now that we have that, this should all work properly. We just push pulse on that. Now it's telling us there. And then if we go back to this, it says that we connected. We go back here, we send the data to them, and then we go back here. Oh, I see. So disconnected on data. Data received. We want data received, self on data. Okay, let's see if this works this time. So it should connect if we connect. Connected now, and then we push that. So we have a response from the server, and we have the text that we sent to the server. Sorry about that random hiccup, but you live, you learn. Yeah, that's pretty much all you need to do. So if you want to send stuff back, I recommend sending it back in a format that is easy to parse. You don't necessarily have to use JSON, but some people like to use JSON. Other than that, have fun, and yeah.